Morning, everyone. Boker Tov. The end of Seif Daled and Siman Resh Nun Daled, the Shulchan Aruch says, so you have to be careful not to return the cover, even if it got revealed. It's talking about a cover of a pot. If it's already nighttime, if it's already Shabbat, because it causes that now it's going to be quicker to cook. So when it comes to returning a lid of a pot, so the halacha is that if the item's already fully cooked, then you could put the lid back on top. There are some opinions that say it's compared to hagasa, it's compared to mixing a pot, which we don't rule that strict with a cover, meaning mixing a pot in a kli rishon in the pot that it's actually the dafina, the chamin, is cooked in the pot that's on the fire, that's on the hot plate, that's on the crock pot. That's your kli rishon. So that pot you're not allowed to stir. Say if you want to serve from that pot, you have to pour it into a second pot, and then from there you could serve from the first pot. You could serve from the first pot lightly, but not stir it, because it causes even more a bishul. Even we're makpid on that, even if it's already fully cooked. But as far as putting a lid back on, if it's already fully cooked, you could put the lid back on. The only thing is that when we take off a lid, let's say we want to check if it's ready, right? So there's an issue, because if you check when it's ready, and if it's not ready yet, then you can't put the lid back on. But now, if it's already after machab and rusai, then you could put it back on. If it's already after a third cooked, you could put it back on. Now the issue also though is when I take off the lid, there's often the water that's there. There's the whatever it's called, the humidity, the perspiration that's there. That's so now I have an issue of if I put it back on. We know that now you could assume that for that moment it cools down quite quickly, those droplets. So if I put it back in, it's cooking those droplets, and we know that the halacha is yesh bishul achar bishul b'davar lach, that there is re-cooking. It's considered cooking if I take water and it cools down and I cook it again on Shabbat. It's considered cooking. That's what we're posek. So therefore, there's an issue here. So the thing would be, as says the Shmirat Shabbat Kilchata, that let's say I take off my lid. You don't have to be so quick to remove it so that nothing falls in. Okay, I take off my lid, some water falls in. I take it off, I check, whatever. If I re-put it on, you got to dry the lid before you put it back on to make sure that those droplets don't get re-cooked. Okay, Minchat tonight at 6:15. Gemara Shiur B'ezrat Hashem tonight at 8:30. I got to run a little bit, so no Mishlish Shiur, but we'll do Tehillim after Adon Shabbat. Tanya Deviliyah.